Why Twitter is the best place to find your next job. So, finding a job right now is really hard. I'm sure there's a bunch of reasons that you could list yourself, but I don't really know the exact one for to be specific. But one thing that is for sure is that a lot of companies right now aren't hiring as they were. At least that's how it feels like before this major disease that happened a couple of years ago. I'm not going to mention it so YouTube doesn't ban this channel. People were getting hired left and right. Every company was hiring. Not a lot of people was willing to work, but a lot of companies were hiring. So that was the best time to find a new job, the best place to be if you wanted a new job. I actually found a new job during that time. But now, it seems like it's very hard to find a new job. So, there's the common way to apply for a new job. You prepare a resume, then you send it to all the companies on Indeed and on LinkedIn. But everyone does that. That's like almost you can get hired, but it's very hard to get hired like that because everyone does it, and especially right now when a lot of companies aren't hiring, it's very hard to get your resume out there to a company to actually look at it and even approve it and to give you an interview. That's very hard because a new company posts a job and then there's thousands and thousands of applicants. Why would they give you an interview over the rest? Maybe you're just that good, but that's that's probably most probably not the case. So a better way of finding a job if you are using those sites is by filtering the newest jobs. So every day you go on LinkedIn or on Indeed and you try to find the jobs that are posted like right now or today. So at least you can send your resume and a pool where there aren't that many people. So your resume, if you're lucky, let's say a recruiter checks it every day. So they're probably going to check it the first day and they're going to see, oh, maybe like 10, 20 applicants. Let me look at the resumes. But as the days go on and go on, then there's going to be more and more resumes inside that job application. So your resume is just going to be buried in there and probably never going to be seen. So one good way is to filter by the newest job posting on Indeed and LinkedIn and all the other websites where you can find jobs. That'll give you a better chance. But even that, like I said, there've been a couple of cases I've seen on LinkedIn for a software engineer job. It was posted an hour ago, and then you'd see more than 100 applicants in an hour. That is a crazy number. So if you imagine if you let that simmer for a day, you'd get more than 500, 1,000 applications. So that's 1,000 applications for one job in a day. That is a big number. So find the recent job postings and post your resume. But even that can be very tricky. So there's another way that I've used, and that worked out pretty well. And before I say it, is one important thing that we need to think about and actually set it as it is. There's a lot of companies that are always actively hiring, but for some reason they don't have any job postings online, or they don't post anything, or they're not posting anything on LinkedIn and or on their website, but they're always actively hiring. If there's someone good, they're gonna hire them. And the reasons why they're not posting any job postings if they are hiring people and if they want to hire people is that sometimes it just costs a lot of money. It just costs a lot of money to do a round of hiring. You have to post a job posting and then look at all the resumes and then give some interviews to some people and then give second round of interviews and all that. It gets really expensive, especially if, let's say, you're taking some time from a senior software engineer inside the team who's making, let's say, 200K a year. He's not coding or he's not doing some high level work. He's helping with hiring. So it costs a lot of money. So that's why a lot of companies are not actively hiring. So the keyword is actively hiring. They're not posting any jobs online, or they're not putting themselves out there that we're looking for people. And like I said, they have the reasons why they're doing that. So what you can do is find those companies. It's mostly early stage companies or startups that are the best prime candidates for you to find. So you find them on Twitter. So a lot of these startups have Twitter handles, and the founders, the CEOs, or the first hires all on Twitter, actively promoting their product, their app, their website, whatever they're building, or their, I don't know, their e-commerce store, whatever the company is. So you want to find them, you want to message them on Twitter, and you want to message the CEO or the CTO or the CFO or even an employee inside the company. You want to message them in a way that you're basically selling yourself, you're advertising yourself, like, hey, I am myself, I have this skill, and this is what I can bring to the company. And it doesn't hurt you to send a message. You can send it to all of the members you see on Twitter, or for a specific startup. So if you see the CEO, send him a message. If you see the CTO, send him a message. And don't worry about them not replying. That's something you should definitely keep in mind. Don't worry about them not replying. Like, you're sending all your resumes to all of these job postings online. Do the same thing with these messages on Twitter. And why I'm telling you this, and why I'm telling you this way of applying to jobs, is because it's really effective. I've done it myself. Where there were companies that did job postings, and some companies that did not do job postings. And mostly I would message the companies that did not do job posting, and I would just message the CEO and tell them, hey, I am a developer, I am a software engineer, and I do this and that. This is how I can help you guys at the company. I would love to work with you guys. And so far, all the people I've messaged online have replied to me at least. So this is what you want. The first is the reply. Some said, look, we're not actively hiring, which is okay. But some said, yeah, we're actively hiring. Like, you can do this or that. You can message this person who takes care of hiring, which is a very good lead, which is a very good first step for you to get into getting an interview, getting hired. But if you want to up your game, if you want to actually do this, the best way you can is to build your online presence. So if you have a Twitter handle where you're posting things about your job, or building your skills online, showing people that you actually know your stuff, or you build your portfolio if you're a designer and you design websites and you've designed personal projects, this is the best way to show your skills, and this is the best way to show what you can do. If you're a coder, the same thing. You can show all the projects you've worked on. And for my case, I did YouTube. I have a YouTube channel that is around coding, and I also do YouTube at the same time. So every single time that I message these people on Twitter, I would show my YouTube channel, and I will also show my projects that I built. And every single time they were impressed. They were like, oh, is that really you on YouTube? This is what you do, and these are all your projects. This is so cool. And every time I tried it, and for the people that did reply to me, they were always down to give me an interview. They were like, oh, okay, let me at least talk to this guy. He looks pretty impressive, or he looks good. He stands out in a way. That's what you want. You want to stand out. You don't want to be like one of those 100 of resumes in a job posting. You want to stand out a little bit. That's why if you build your online presence, or you build your portfolio, you will have a better chance to get at least an interview. And this is what you want to get, at least an interview, because the interview is the first step for you to actually prove yourself, to actually talk to people, as human to human, not just with CVs or being sent between one another. You're actually talking to people, looking at them in their eyes, and basically telling them that how you like to work with them, and how you can help them. And if they like you, you will get hired. And if they don't like you, or for some reason they don't move the process into giving you a second round of interview or not hiring you in the end, that's okay. That's okay. At least you've got the interview. You've built this skill on how to find these founders, or how to find these companies on Twitter, and then how to message them and how to talk to them during the interviews. And as you do this more and more, eventually you will get hired. And the problem right now why there's so many applicants and not a lot of people are hiring is that, well, first of all, a lot of companies are not hiring. So now companies are really wanting the best of the best. It's really hard for someone that's just average to get a job. So if you want to get a job, you want to stand out. And if you want to stand out, build your online presence, build your portfolio, message people on Twitter directly. That'll give them the hint that, okay, this guy's pretty serious. They found my Twitter handle, they found my company on Twitter. Let me at least reply them back. Let me give them an interview at least and see what they have. So if you do the effort to at least stand out a little bit, because most people don't do the effort. Most people don't do the effort to stand out. People are just average. So if you do the smallest of effort, or the effort to stand out a little bit, you'll get a much higher chance of getting hired. So that was the advice for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.